Bonjour people, welcome back to another review. This time we are looking at the Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Thundercracker. Now what's special about this particular figure, not only is he a repaint of Starscream, and quite a more stylish repaint I must say, but this figure actually represents the Studio Series, because the Studio Series Starscream, to my understanding, is basically a scaled up version of this guy, who is a repaint of Starscream. But anyway, he turns into an F-22 Raptor, as does Starscream in the first three films. He's really nice looking. It's always nice to have a Seeker repaint, be it Thundercracker, Skywarp, or any of the Coneheads, for example, because just like with Stormtroopers or Viacons, you can essentially troop build, and that's the appeal of the Seekers, especially the G1 Classic Seeker mold. A very nice, neat and compact figure with amazing engineering on the whole. You've got Thundercracker's classic blue, amounting to almost the entirety of the jet, and you've got red and silver highlights along the edges of the wings and the fins. You've got a nice goldish yellow cockpit that is see-through. You can see a seat in the centre there. Not a lot of kibble on the underneath. From a first glance, you can't really tell what's what. These are the arms, these are the legs, but you only know that if you know the transformation. So point being, everything is hidden away really nicely. You have weapon storage under the wings. You can see his mech tech weapon there, and then this other thing. I believe this is a remnant of what the original Starscream had. He had two of these. He had this part, and then the other part was his mech tech, and then you could combine them into a little staff. Dull grey, goldish yellow. It's quite nice actually. Put that over there. We'll take this one off, have a look at his Mechatech. And this is the same as Roadbusters, where it's like a minigun and then you can pull that and a chainsaw whips out. But does not look into place, as was the way with all the deluxe classes. Thundercracker has some landing gear, as you can see here. You've got this, which slots into place there, and then you've got these, which I believe they become his heels. And now for a size comparison, here are two versions of essentially the same character side by side. So we have the Dark of the Moon Thundercracker, and then we have the, I think it's the Revenge of the Fallen Skywarp repaint of the first movie Starscream. And I thought I might compare these two just because they do represent the same kind of Seeker that Starscream was in the first three films. And this is kind of an old and versus new situation. Skywarp here, it's not the best representation of an F-22 by any means. There's a lot of kibble underneath, of course, and then Thundercracker here is just a lot sleeker. So let's get on down to the transformation, because that's what you're all here for, really, isn't it? First of all, flip the landing gear up and out like that, so everything is nice and flat. Now if you're familiar again with the Studio Series transformation sequence, then this will come as nothing new to you. Let's flatten these for a start, and I must admit I am a little bit out of practice with this. We'll just see how we go. Next up, you want to be folding them all the way back like that. Let's take the legs and just pull them out and about, and then we can rotate these bits out like that. Remember, this style of Seeker is meant to have chicken legs, so we're just going to play about with them, straighten everything out and bend it appropriately, and here you have the Gerwalk mode. Moving on, because I don't understand Gerwalk, coming to the wings, and we just want to be pushing them out a bit, giving them some elevation so that the main body of the wings can slot over this little bit here. Try and do that on both sides, and this side rises easier. It's a 10-year-old figure, folks. It's a 10-year-old figure. Take the silver bits underneath and flare them out a bit. This will be filling out the chest later on, and plus providing more clearance in the more immediate future. Take this black section and pull out the arms like so, and then we're going to try and pull these bits all the way out. You may rip off his arm, Fortunately, it's all on a ball joint, so we will just snap that back in with a nice click. Rotate and flip the hands out. Do this on the other side as well. Let's see if I can get it out without ripping the arm off. Yes, I can. Fold, fold. Now we want to be flipping down his crotch piece. We want to come to the top here, flip that out. Come back to the bottom and flip that out all the way. This will give the nose cone and the head clearance to come all the way down. You may just need to shimmy it on the double hinge that's at the collar, just so it all goes nicely in. Flip his crotch piece back in to cover the end of the nose cone. Take the wings and fold them into his body to create his iconic triangular shape. So keep them out like that, and then that allows them to tab in like that. Reposition everything accordingly, and there you have Thundercracker fully transformed in his beautiful looking robot mode. And again, the reason why the Studio Series version is so popular, it's so movie accurate. And looking at this guy, he's got no kibble whatsoever. Everything just folds away nice and compactly, and it is a stunning piece of engineering all round. Knowing my camera, we can't exactly get a very good focus on his head sculpt, but that's the best we're going to get, and that looks really rather nice. Panning all the way down his body, you can see some really nice intricate detail everywhere. More red and silver is brought out because of the nature of the transformation sequence. Proportionally, really nice. In terms of articulation, he can do a 360 out of the head. And he's full of ball joints everywhere. He's got a ball jointed shoulder. He's got a lovely bend at the upper arm. Ball joint at the elbow gives a nice bend up and a nice 360 rotation. His wrist is articulated to go all the way in, so you can do some really good poses. At the legs, up that far, back that far, nothing at the waist. We've got more joints aplenty at the bottom here, so you can move that way. You can do a 360 swivel there. You can bend that way and that way. It's got a bit of toe articulation, which is amazing for a deluxe. And just like with any mech tech, you can plug them into his ports here, which he has on his arms. Just squeeze that in. And squeeze that one in right there. And while they don't exactly complement him that well, for example, I don't know why he is equipped with a chainsaw. I can understand this one on my left, his right, but I can't really understand the chainsaw. But while they do look a bit weird, they're not completely out of place. And then there's probably some, there's some alternative storage on the backs of the wings here. So if you don't like them on his arms, you can just put them facing down on his back, and they're nice and out of the way, and they would be the only bit of kibble present on him if you choose to do that. For a size comparison then, here's Thundercracker and Skywarp together. Here's Thundercracker next to Universe Acid Storm. It is Universe, isn't it? It's not Classics. Is it Generations? It's Acid Storm either way, the classic sequel mold. So there we go then, there is Dark of the Moon Thundercracker. He is an upgrade from the Dark of the Moon Starscream. He looks so much nicer. So if you had to pick any version of Starscream from Dark of the Moon, pick this guy. I think there was a Skywarp version, but he's impossible to get, as is the way with Skywarps. And if you can't afford the Studio Series Starscream, this guy is a really pleasant alternative because he's just a smaller scale version of that figure. But anyway, that's Thundercracker. Recommended. So thank you everybody so much for stopping by and checking out this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share it around to help out the channel. And until the next time, see you all later.